Welcome back, everyone. This is MandoAllDay, back with another video. And in this video, we'll be taking a look at Wonder Woman, the deluxe edition for the Hiketeia. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I'm going to call it the Ritual. But regardless, though, we'll be talking about a little bit of the story, the art, and of course, if it's worth your purchase or not. But before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So, let's take a look in front of the dust jacket. As a matte look to it, it's actually all matte, so keep that in mind. On the dust jacket, the spine, the back. This is a deluxe edition, so it's a lot bigger than like a regular hardcover. Keep that in mind. Alright, let's take a look at what's underneath the dust jacket. And there we go. The front of the book. And it's all matte. The spine. The back. And we'll do a full spread. You guys can see the full thing. Alright. Now let's take a look at the art and what the story is about. So what is this about? So I do not know how to pronounce this, so please correct me if you know how to pronounce it. The Hiketeia. I'm going to call it the Ritual. For the sake of this overview, I'm going to call it the Ritual. So what is this story is about? So the first part of the story, the first couple pages I should say of this comic, it mainly is discussing about the ritual, like the heritage of it, the importance of the ritual, and essentially what the ritual is when someone commits to this ritual, you as a recipient, you have to protect this person at all costs. Not too over extreme, but you have to protect this person. You have to provide for them, and you also have to, you can actually make them do things, but you cannot overdo it. It's almost like you can use them, but you can't abuse it. Does that make sense? And that's what the ritual is essentially what it is about. Is if someone commits to the ritual, they're essentially committing to you, meaning they're almost like your slaves. So you can kind of see here. And as a recipient of the ritual, if you do accept it, you have to bound to these rules. And these have been, in this story here, been in history, as you can see right here. And so that's how the book starts, kind of explaining what the ritual is about and the importance of it. Now, of course, the story is about a character named Danielle who, I don't want to say too much, but does something, and she actually commits to this ritual to Wonder Woman. She basically asks for her help, for Wonder Woman's help, and commits to the ritual. Wonder Woman accepts the ritual, and now Wonder Woman is fully committed to the ritual, defending her, providing food for her and shelter, and also kind of using her, but you cannot abuse it, meaning you cannot tell her, I want you to, do all these things for me within a minute. You can't. There's set rules for this ritual as a recipient of it. Now, as the story progresses, you find out that she committed something, and of course, someone is after her. And you can see in the cover, Batman's after her. Now, Batman is trying to investigate her, basically put her in jail for the things that she did. And since she, Danielle, did the ritual to Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman has to commit in defending her. So obviously the book is mainly of Wonder Woman fighting against Batman. And that's pretty cool. Seeing Batman get his ass kicked is really, really fun in this story. But regardless, so as the story progresses, you find out the things what she did and why she did what she did. And I'm not going to spoil what exactly she did and why, but as the story progresses, you really find out her motivation, Danielle's motivation of the ritual and doing what she did. And you feel sympathy for her. I don't want to say too much again, but it does pay off. And it is a short story, so I'm not going to say too much of the story, but for the most part, I dig the story. I think the art's really, really good. It does have that the gloss paper, so mixed up colors do pop, and the story itself is pretty cool, man. I really like it. It's a very fast-paced story. Honestly, you can probably read this within maybe an hour or less, depending on your reading speed. But for the most part, I dig it. It's a very simple, straightforward story, nothing complex. You don't need to have prior knowledge or anything. This is one of those stories like, hey, if you just want to read a Wonder Woman story without any prior knowledge, I think this is it, man. And I had a good time with this story, because you really see how fully committed Wonder Woman is in terms of her traditions and everything and her values, as with that mascara with the gods and goddesses and so forth. And of course, you see Batman, who's always persistent, who's trying to basically arrest Danielle for the things that she did. And again, I'm not going to say too much. And there's a little bit more to the story. I don't want to spoil it, but for the most part, though, I really liked it, man, and I think this is a fun little read. I did not expect it to be this fun and this good. I dig it, man. I really like the story. The art's good. It's clean. There's really no more pages that really stood out to me in terms of the art. But Overall, though, the art's good, clean, and with that glossy paper, the colors do pop. I'm sure you can see on the camera or in the video here, the colors really, really do pop. And so, to me, for the Wonder Woman, I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, but Hiketeia Deluxe Edition, I think it's a thumbs up for me. I had a good time with this book. Every time I kept reading it, I wanted to see what exactly is going to happen. What's Danielle's motivations? You know, what's her motives? And obviously, as you read, you understand her motivations. And yeah, so I don't want to say anything more because I don't want to spoil it. But for the most part, I gotta say, thumbs up for me on this story, man. It's a good time, simple, straightforward, easy to read story, pretty fast paced, and the art's good. And with that glossy paper, you can't go wrong with it. So to me, this book is a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think. Have you read this book? Do you plan on reading this book? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So that includes an overview of Wonder Woman, the Hiketeia Deluxe Edition. I don't know how you pronounce it. And on to the next one.